Hi, Christine. I just thought I would show you the results of my crackle that I did on the cover of the book. As you can see, it's got a really nice texture to it. This is what it looked like layered with the different colors of browns blotted on over top of the black. And because I did a thin step one of the glaze and then both layers of it, and then a thin step 2, I ended up with real tiny crackles, which if you look at some leather jackets and purses and stuff, you see the same texture, and that's what I was trying to mimic. A lot cheaper to go this route than to actually use up my leathers for this sort of thing. So it worked out really well. And if anybody has any questions on the process, please feel free to ask me anything. I didn't do the side because the window through the upper layer of real leather is going to be only on the front cover, so why waste the time and the materials? So I'm going to put a link below on gluing pages. There's a lady I found that she holds classes on making altered books and does some very beautiful work herself, and so she's got some fantastic advice. And one of the things that she does advise is when you're doing a book to actually glue so that you're going the flat side, and so that when the pages go down, they don't when you set the book down, that they're not curling while they're drying, because that's going to actually cause the pages to be extremely rough, and the whole book, all the pages are going to be bowed, and it's going to be a mess. And she shows some samples on the video that I'm going to link in the crotch bar. Also, she advised do not use glossy pages, and that's why I had to go out and hunt for an appropriate book, because that would be, oh, I know why I wasn't going to glue these. That would be, oh, I lost my train of thought. To have the parchment paper in between so you're not gluing pages together, but I forgot that I was keeping these because these are all white pages. And I thought just having some single pages for notes or thoughts or whatever in the back of the book would be appropriate. So I do have parchment paper here. She will go and glue a bunch of books at once and then stack them together. And she advises to do a bunch of books at once, but I only have one prepared. Anyway, train of thought came back. The reason why you don't do the glossy instead of the matte, you know, the rough pages like I've got here, paperback novels work really well for this, I guess, but the glossy will actually wrinkle when the glue dries, and you don't want that either. You want to have smooth pages. So all my books on, you know, art photos and stuff like that didn't have any matte pages to them. So, and of course you're going to lay the parchment paper in between the sections that you glue, because that way they won't stick together. She said any white polymer glue like Elmer's, anything like that will work. You're going to want to mix some with water. I'm using Mod Podge because that's what I have handy, and I got a bunch from my high school art teacher, and so yeah, I got a bunch of it. This one's pretty old, so I have to kind of mix it up, but it does work. It's the same thing that I used on my little tarot card set. And you want to thin it to a good, comfortable pudding consistency on the glue. It's going to be a little harder with this one, I think, but I do have some water here. And again, don't use a good brush. I'm still using the same brush that ended up being my gluing brush now. I restored it, but after all the glazing yesterday, it got a little hard again, and I just keep using it and it'll stop doing that. So I'm going to put this in one tray. I have water in the other tray, and I'm just going to add the water to the tray with the glue so that I get kind of the right consistency here. And what I'm going to do is just show you the process on it. She had a putty knife. I bought a putty knife at Walmart, and now I can't bloody find it. So I have this really, really heavy plastic ruler, and I'm just going to kind of go and smooth the pages down as I glue them. Because that's, you use what you got, you know. Although Walmart does have some plastic putty knives for 75 cents or something like that each. So I will find it, but I just don't remember where I put it. One of those things, working so many night shifts and my brain is just getting too fuzzy. I think it's getting to time where I need to come off of nights, but it's really hard for nurses to get day shift hours. And I have bills to pay. I have a kid going to college now besides the wedding, and she needs student loans. And I got a cosign on that, and it's just so many things one after the other. It's just driving me crazy. Well, you saw how thick the Mod Podge was, and you don't want it to get too much water, because if your pages are way too wet, they will also buckle. You know how water does with paper. And the reason why I'm doing the pages before I do the cover is because I don't want to get extra glues on the cover and then have myself a big royal mess in the process. And you do, I have sections, the pages are sections of 4. And I have some that are sections of 10, but this is what I decided to do just because that was the thickness I wanted. You can adjust your thickness. And so all you're basically going to do is spread the glue on. And I didn't think to buy a bigger brush. I should have. For this, again, using what I has. So yeah, you're going to try to put the glue down as fast as possible and get it on smooth, which is why you want to thin it to, you know, like a pudding consistency or something like that. And just keep spreading it out. Cover the whole page. And don't you guys love being part of my experiment here? You know, I mean, since this is the first time I've done this, I mean, I've altered canvases and stuff like that. So, you know, it's that I'm used to the materials that I'm working with, but to actually do a book like this. Okay. Then you take your smoothing thingy, whatever you got, in this case the ruler, and just smooth it out, get the air bubbles out. I actually like this ruler a little better than the putty knife idea. This is kind of nice. Okay, so you're just going to continue this process, and when you're done with your bunch that you've got of the pages that, you know, like 4 or whatever number you're comfortable with, the thickness that you're comfortable with, then you would go and weigh the book down and, you know, let it dry before you do any further process. If you do tea dyeing and stuff like that, Mod Podge is pretty good for going over top of things like that without smearing. Same thing with computer inks, as you saw in the project for the tarot cards. I really liked it because it didn't smudge the printer ink at all. And so I think it's really a nice glue for that. And you can go with gesso over top of it, which is what I'm going to do. Some pages will be prepped with gesso, and it works well with a Mod Podge. I've done that before. And then after I get, you know, the signatures at the wedding and everything, and, you know, people's addresses and stuff like that, I'm actually going to Mod Podge over top of the handwriting, just so that I have a permanent record in the book. So there's all sorts of things you're going to be able to do, and I'm going to try to go step by step and show you my process in between. And hopefully, you know, hopefully this will turn out. But yeah, it's a time-consuming process. It took me about 4 hours to sand down the cover all the way around because I wanted the glue to adhere. The cover was glossy as well. And you can see here where some of the glue is squishing out between the pages. So I decided this, I have several of these rulers, so this one is probably going to just turn into my portable punny knife and ruler. So yeah, so that's it for now. I will show you the results of the glued pages when they're done, and then show you how to do writable pages using different colors of gesso. And those you won't glaze until after the handwriting. They'll take ballpoint pen very well. We're not doing quill because most people are probably not going to know about dipping the ink, and plus that would just be a lot of hassle at the festival. So I'm going to decorate up a ballpoint pen with leather and have it attached to this book with a ribbon. And I think that'll be kind of cool. I just thought of that, doing that too. Hey, ideas on camera. Fantastic. Anyway, you guys have a great day. Blessed be everybody.